Okay. All right, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm super excited for today's client spotlight. We have Monica B with us. Monica has been a part of Feed Your Soul's community since 2019. She has had tremendous successes. She's certainly gone through a lot. And when we talk about the real women of Feed Your Soul, Monica is a beautiful representation of a real woman navigating, life and getting more fit, being more healthy. So Monica is going to share a little bit about her journey and everything. Where do you want to start today, Monica?
Like I was just saying to you earlier, I think a lot about this because I have been part of this community since 2019. And so my story at that point was I could not walk up and down stairs without alternating legs. I had to go like one step at a time. I had no upper body strength. What I was looking for, like in a gym, was I don't ever want to go to a gym, but I know I need to do something. And so I found Feed Your Soul Fitness actually on Facebook, come to think of it. And I did the 28-day challenge, mostly with TRX. I was afraid to even do, a class where I had to show really anything. With the TRX. You just have the straps to hold on to. So my initial strength, building was at that point. And so I've done some of the, nutrition and programs along the way and some of the 28-day challenges, but mostly just really got into a routine of sticking to going 3 days a week. And that has been, just amazing. The fact that I'm this many years in and still going. At some point, we'll talk about the big blip I had in life, like life happening. And, how coming back after being away, what that experience was like. So I don't know if you have specific questions. I mean, I'm happy to, keep talking about that.
I always like to know a little bit about people's lifestyles, because I think when we talk about the real women of Feed Your Soul, a lot of people are moms, their parents,
Yeah.
their siblings. Like there's a lot of life happening. And I think the biggest thing is like, we are real women going through emotional hardships, physical hardships, but we still work to show up for ourselves. Tell us a little bit about your lifestyle in general, like kids, job, all the things.
All right. Well, right now I'm unemployed. So that is, and I'm on the job search, which is actually very emotionally challenging for me as someone of my age, number one. Not my job ending semi unexpectedly, and also my work. I'm a social worker, being very much a part of my identity and who I am. So I'm finding this whole period right now very challenging. I prior to that, as I was saying, I'm a social worker, and I moved to Colorado about 9 years ago, and for the last 7.5, I'd been working at the Center on Domestic Violence at University of Colorado, developing and implementing program in K-12 schools. And then I started internship programs. So basically a job where I worked kind of like Brandy, nonstop. It was never just like the 9 to 5 kind of work. And really, have always loved my work. I live in Lakewood. I have an adult child that lives in Philadelphia. I have 2 dogs that are like children, that require me to come home at certain times every day. And I had a partner who passed away just this past December.
Yeah.
So, that's where I was saying, oh, a blip in my journey, my fitness journey anyway, not in my life journey. And so my lifestyle right now is in complete upheaval.
But I think that's an interesting point. Lifestyles switch and change. There's constant pivots we have to make. And at one point in time, when your partner got ill, you had to completely pivot to no exercise. You still were trying to move, but because it was a 24/7, literally 365 caretaking position, we didn't see you in the studio for a whole year.
Yeah,
So
almost a year.
You had the pivot from before you started with us to pivoting to joining us, working on yourself, getting physically strong. Then you had this huge life-changing event happen. You didn't do any classes with us.
Mhm.
But then after, unfortunately, he left us, you said, I have to get back, which was a tremendous pivot. So the
Yes.
lifestyle pivots that you can speak to, I think, are huge.
Yes. And that's kind of when I think about it as a journey, which used to sound like a really kind of, I don't know, groovy word to me. And now I'm all over journey, because nothing is black and white. Nothing, it's all right there in the middle somewhere, that we're doing things and that we're navigating life and that we're trying to, eat well and stay fit and take care of ourselves. Like that's like a nonstop thing. That's not like you do the 28-day challenge, you lose weight, you feel good. It's like, and it's something that goes up and down.
Yes.
And I don't always feel, 100% motivated, but I've really learned, again, you talk a lot about mindset, to just kind of push myself to get there. During the time that Dave was ill, prior to his passing, I will say from a community perspective, I felt very held. People weren't checking in with me every day or every week, but there were some periodic check-ins, and there's a few relationships I have through Feed Your Soul that were more regular check-ins. What do I need? What can we do for you? Nobody's saying, when are you getting back to the gym? So like really fully understanding that that's not what I was doing then.
No.
And that was hard for me. I mean, with my partner who was, needed 24/7 care, I'd get him in a wheelchair and walk around. When you said keeping active, like my
Yeah.
activity was walking a wheelchair around the neighborhood.
But you made
So
it happen. It wasn't
I
exactly what
did.
you wanted, but you
No,
still
I
were
did.
putting effort towards. And I think
Yeah.
you talked about like some lack of motivation. And I think a lot of women are out there not feeling really motivated. And I think
Mhm.
logically understanding that motivation is very fleeting, it comes and goes.
Yes.
But if you're
Yes.
able to recognize this is what I'm able to do and take that
Hmm.
with a bite size, it's beautiful what can happen. And then recognizing, oh, things shifted. Now this is available and I'm going to grab that. That's huge.
Right. 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 I like how you put those tidbits into perspective like that, because yeah, no, it's true. I did, like, if I could, I would get him out every day. Mind you, it might have been anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to like tops a half an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really not a lot. But I did know that that was going to be good for my mental health.
Yeah.
And so I did it. And so when I came back, you're right, like huge pivot. Like I said, I lost my partner, my job ended, and I'm a little bit untethered right now. But I'm back at the gym 3 days a week. And that didn't happen overnight either.
Nope.
So I came in to talk to Brandy about a nutrition program. I said, all I want to do is just come in and talk to you. Like, I'm not jumping back into classes. I want to see if maybe I can just start with my eating, and it might help me to, just have something to belong to and to track my food and get on track. And the minute that I walked in, I saw, someone that I've taken a lot of classes with, and I had a complete meltdown crying. Like, it was so good to be back there. So, I did the nutrition thing, and then I kind of slowly started getting back to classes. I was traveling and doing other things to care for myself, actually, that were equally as important, although I was having my little bits of guilt, but I also was with people that loved me and that I loved at a time that I really needed that.
Well,
And
and you
so,
mentioned this woman that you saw, and I was there. Obviously, we were meeting. That person that was in the community where you had your meltdown, it was an outlet for you. They
yeah,
had lost someone, they lost their
they
brother.
did. Yeah.
And there's that beauty in the community. And I remember during the pandemic, you and about five other girls were pretty freaking regular about hiking,
Walking.
walking. You guys would
Yep.
do super local things really
Yep.
quick and easy. You guys would go up to a little bit more in the
Yep.
mountains and go for a little bit more of
Yes.
a lengthy hike. And that relationship, I think, is what keeps people tethered to showing up, because you never know who
Yeah.
you're going to see in class. And that's a beautiful
Yes.
benefit.
Yeah, no, that really truly is. And even though some of those people no longer, they've moved or whatever, I still have contact with a few people and still will see them once in a while for a walk or a little hike.
Yes.
Hiking is something that I really love. I'm not, I mean, I love to tell my Feed Your Soul story about I set a goal after all of that training on the TRX. And when I got brave enough to take an actual class where I had to jump around or try squats or whatever, I set a goal so it happened in 2020 to do my first 14er on my 58th birthday. So 2 years ago.
Huge.
And it was huge. So it meant, really like just a lot of hiking. So that is a lot of when they were community members that, we would hike together. And then randomly I had these 2 other friends that said, sure, I'll go. Of course, everyone is a lot younger than me. But I had like a team of like 5 women, like, encouraging me up the mountain and celebrating at the top. And I wish I had some of those pictures to flash, because there's some good pictures of that. But that was like, amazing, like amazing.
Such an accomplishment.
Oh, such an accomplishment. And I just felt so good about it. And now, after being away so long and coming back, it's hard, but now that I think I have 2 or 3 weeks with 3 classes, I'm already like feeling stronger again.
Isn't it amazing how quick it can
It's
happen?
amazing how like quick I'm like, oh, my body remembers, even if I don't have the muscle, like my body remembers. And I know, like, I just know. The other thing that I want to point out is when I first started, like, form, what's that? I'd be on the TRX and they'd be like, use your arms. And I was using every part of my body because my arms couldn't lift my body. But honestly, you just keep going through it. You keep doing what you can do. So I just want to like say that to people, because I only feel like in the last, like probably right before Dave's illness, was I really starting to understand form and how to pay attention to those little things that really, work my body differently. So it just continues to be challenging enough for me, I think, to get stronger and to grow. And that's a really cool thing for me now coming back.
Well, I think the mind-body connection is really powerful. Women tend to lose some of that. I've done some research. There are studies out there where it talks about women as we hit into perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, how some of our cognitive function is compromised a little bit. So that mind-body connection is so powerful. And I've watched so many women that I've done personal training with back in the day that I watch in class, like, literally it's so good for people to use that part of their brain. So you're getting just so many benefits of moving your body, but using your brain.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you've taken what you've done in the gym, building strength and stamina, to the mountain and climbing a 14er. And for those of you guys, because we have people all over the nation and even in a couple of different countries in this group. In Colorado, we have, I think it's like 57 14ers or something like
50 something. Yeah.
52. And it's a big deal to climb them because it's usually at least 3,000-foot elevation gain. So it's just a lot of hiking, and they're long days, and it's a lot of endurance, and it's kind of a bucket thing for most people. So Monica, I remember her distinctly choosing it on her birthday, which happens to be in the summer. And it was such an accomplishment. So now you've gone through all these huge pivots. You had the 14er, you're back on track for you. Like you said, you're in this new chapter of life. What are your next goals in the next 6 months?
Well, to just stick with it, to keep going, to keep exercising. I do have a hiking goal for a 13er, which there's a lot of beautiful 13ers. So I feel like once you do a 14er, you don't need to do if you don't want to, you don't need to do another one. There's lots of beautiful 13ers, and they're really hard too. But I said that because there's one that a friend and I have wanted to do. And so, to keep hiking and just getting my body stronger. And I think really making my fitness a real priority right now. I have to get a job. There's a lot of have to's. I have to keep up a house alone right now. I have a lot of unknowns financially. And at the same time, I just kind of believe that the universe will take care of me, but I also have to take care of me.
Yes.
So
yes.
It's a thing I have the most control over, actually, right now in my life, is what I do for myself. And there's days that it's kind of hellish to get out of bed and face the day with, but
I find that in realms of uncertainty, like you said it before, you're currently searching for a job, your partner is passed, you're untethered to a lot. That can
Mhm.
be a challenge in and of itself.
Yes,
But the grounding part of like, this is where I go, and I go there 3 times a
that's
week, and
right.
people
That's
I
right.
see, this is what I do,
Yep.
like brings that grounding. And so for those of you watching who are feeling that
Yeah.
scattered uncertainty, like get yourself an anchor through exercise,
Yeah.
however it may be. Yeah. Any
Yes.
other last thoughts you want to share with us?
No, I just hope that, there was someone, I was in a class this week and there was someone who was brand new and she was next to me and I was just like trying to tell her tidbits of like my story because I felt like, gosh, I'm just doing all this stuff. And she was, having those struggles of really just getting back to fitness. And so I hope that whatever, I had to say was encouraging and that, she'll keep, again, just like do it. Doesn't matter what it looks like. It eventually comes and you don't really know it till you keep doing it, I guess, which I had never done in my life to that extent. So
I love that. It's
it's been
true.
a real
We've
gift.
had that first day. We've all had to hit the reset button. We've all had to
Mhm.
say, what do I need to adjust so that I can keep going, even though it's going to look different? That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. And be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah.
For a little bit.
So,
Yeah, for sure. I
yeah.
couldn't
But
agree more.
only for a little bit because then, I know, then after that, it's like you realize that there's people of all different levels. And I think that's a real gift because people can feel comfortable wherever they are, whether they have injuries or they're older. I'm 60, my knees are cranky and, I just don't have range of motion. And like, there's a lot of things that I have to compensate for, but I now feel absolutely like no shame or worry or anything. And I do what I can and, try to push myself within what those boundaries are.
I
So,
will 100% attest to that in my classes when I'm sitting at the desk and I watch you in classes, and I don't sit there and watch a lot, but like I watch you put your best effort forward. I watch you honor your body. I watch you challenge yourself, and I watch you allow for yourself to pull back as needed. Like that's the beauty in the women
mhm,
in our community is we're always talking about honor your body, but be safe, but be challenged. And you
yeah,
wholeheartedly embrace that. So
thanks.
thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for sharing
Yeah,
your story today, and
yeah,
congratulations on this next chapter of life.
thank you.
Well, if you
Thanks.
guys who are watching ever want to, be in a class next to a powerhouse and a sweetheart like Monica, like do it, because that's another part that feeds your soul is being around
It
other women
does.
who are like you and it's relatable. So
Yeah,
we'll look
it
forward
does.
to doing another client spotlight in the weeks to come. Monica, thanks for
Great.
joining me for Coffee with Coach Brandy.
All right. Thanks for having
All
me.
right, bye guys. See you later.
Bye.